Everyone assumes seeing through fake people is a gift, some kind of superpower. But here's what they don't tell you. You didn't develop this skill because you're special. You developed it because you had to. You learned to read people the way others learned to read rooms, for safety, and now you can't turn it off. You sit across from someone who's smiling, saying all the right things, and something inside you goes quiet, watchful, because you already know. The question isn't whether you can see through people. You can. The question is, why you and what it cost you to get here. But where does this come from? Picture a child who learned that smiles don't always mean safety, that a warm voice could still carry something cold underneath it, that the people who said, "I love you" the loudest sometimes meant it the least. That child started watching, not faces, the space between faces and words, the slight pause before an answer, the laugh that didn't reach the eyes, the hug that felt rehearsed. They weren't paranoid, they were precise, and every time they were right, the lesson got locked in a little deeper. That child was you, and the skill never left. Sign 1. You feel it before you can explain it. You've met someone and felt it immediately. Not a thought, a feeling. Something tightened in your gut before they even finished their first sentence. Everyone around you was laughing, relaxed, already trusting, and you were quietly watching. You couldn't explain it then. You still sometimes can't. But you were right, weren't you? You're almost always right. That's not intuition in the mystical sense. Your nervous system was trained by experience, by exposure, to pick up signals most people miss. The slight inconsistency between what someone says and how their body says it. The pitch shift, the over-explanation when nobody asked. You don't analyze, you absorb, and your body keeps the score before your brain even catches up. But here's what nobody tells you. Sign 2. You watch what people do, not what they say. You know that person who talks about honesty more than anyone in the room? The one who leads every conversation with, "I'm a very straightforward person." You stopped trusting that sentence years ago because you watched the follow-through. Not on big things, small things. Who remembers what you said last week? Who checks in when there's nothing to gain? Who shows up quietly versus who announces every time they do something kind? Fake people perform consistency. Real people just are consistent, and you feel the difference, not in speeches, but in patterns. Sign 3. You notice when someone's warmth has an agenda. That warmth with a direction, you feel it the moment it arrives. Someone who's suddenly more interested in you right before they need something. The compliments that come in clusters, the attention that shows up on a schedule that always seems to benefit them. You notice, you always notice, and this changes everything. Sign 4. You're always slightly watching even when you're having fun. Have you ever been at a gathering, actually enjoying yourself, and still noticed you were tracking people? Who drifted to who laughed too loud at the right moment, who subtly left someone out without making it obvious? You weren't trying to, you just were. Psychologists call this hypervigilance, a nervous system calibrated for threat detection. It started as survival, but it doesn't stop when the danger does. It stays on, quietly running in the background while you smile and hold your drink. You're not antisocial, you're not cynical, you're just never fully off. Sign 5. You can tell when someone is performing emotion versus actually feeling it. Grief that's too clean, anger that's too timed, excitement that lands slightly off. You feel the difference between someone living an emotion and someone displaying one. It has a different texture, and your system flags it before you've even decided to pay attention. The real reason goes even deeper. Sign 6. You struggle to just trust someone. Stay with me. This next part is the hardest truth. You've sat across from someone genuinely good, someone who actually meant what they said, and you still couldn't fully let go. Still kept one eye open. Still waited somewhere in the back of your mind for the thing that would prove you right. And sometimes you were wrong. Sometimes they were real, and you kept them at a distance anyway. That's the cost. The same wiring that protects you also isolates you. It's not that you don't want close relationships. You do. But deep trust requires a kind of softness your system stopped offering freely a long time ago. You're not broken. You're over-calibrated. And here's the image that stays with you. Sitting in that room, watching someone's eyes contradict with their mouth, except now you realize you're doing the same thing, hiding how much you actually want to just believe someone. But wait, there's something worse. Sign 7. You feel unseen even in rooms full of people. Everyone calls you perceptive, insightful. You always know. But when did someone last look at you with that same quality of attention? When did someone notice what you weren't saying? You see everyone, clearly, but most people don't see you, not the real version. Because when you're that good at reading rooms, you also get good at controlling what you show. You learned to reveal just enough, warmth without vulnerability, presence without exposure, and so people feel close to you without actually getting close. You're not mysterious on purpose, you're careful. There's a difference. Sign 8. You can tell flattery immediately. Real recognition is specific. It names something you actually worked for. Flattery is general and convenient. You know the difference the moment it arrives. The worst part? Even when someone genuinely compliments you, part of you still quietly checks for the angle. Here's where it gets personal. Sign 9. You sometimes wish you couldn't see it. Picture this. Your friend is describing someone new, glowing, hopeful, telling you every detail, and you're nodding, smiling. But you already see it, the pattern they're describing, the inconsistency they're too excited to catch, and you have to sit there holding that. You can't unsee what you see. You can't unfeel what you feel. And sometimes, just sometimes, you wish you could. Wish you could be surprised the way they are. Wish you could trust the surface the way others seem to do so effortlessly. There's a grief in that, a quiet one, for the version of you that might have existed if you'd never needed to learn any of this. Nothing is wrong with you. You were never broken. You were just a person who learned to read the weather because nobody warned you about the storms. And here's where it gets darker. Sign 10. You're learning that seeing clearly doesn't mean staying closed. You've carried this long enough to know seeing through people isn't the same as knowing what to do with what you see. Some people deserve the benefit of the doubt, not because they've earned full trust, but because staying permanently sealed costs you more than it protects you. You don't have to turn this off. You can't, and you shouldn't, but you can learn to use it with intention instead of fear. To let it inform you, not control you. To stay soft in the places where someone has genuinely shown you they're safe. You're not the child scanning for danger anymore. You have more information now, more choice. The skill stays, but the fear driving it, that's the thing you get to start putting down. So what actually helps? 3 things. The first is graduated trust. You don't have to go from closed to open all at once. Give someone access in small amounts. Watch how they handle it. Let evidence build over time rather than waiting for a guaranteed safety that never comes. The second is name the pattern. When you notice yourself scanning for threat in a space that's actually safe, say it internally. I'm doing the thing. Awareness interrupts the automatic. You can't stop the detection, but you can choose your response to it. The third is let someone be right about you. Not everyone. One person. Let them see past the careful version you show the world. It won't destroy you. It might be the thing that finally feels like relief. You came here thinking this was a list about other people. You leave knowing it was always about you. What you survived, what it built in you, what it quietly cost you. That image, sitting in a room, watching someone's eyes contradict what their mouth, except now you realize you're doing the same thing, hiding how much you actually want to just believe someone. Which one are you? Do you tell people what you see, or do you stay quiet and watch? Drop it below. And if this felt personal, the next video goes even deeper into why people like you struggle most with being truly known.